Hello, my name is Shane. Today I'm speaking with Claudia Moon for Orlando Memory during the Zora Neale Hurston Festival in Eatonville, Florida. The date is Saturday, January 28th, 2012. Hello, Miss Moon. How are you today?
I am fine, thank you, Shane. How are you?
Very good.
Good.
Can you tell us where and when you were born?
I was born in Pontiac, Michigan in 1952.
And what was it like to grow up in Michigan?
Cold.
Cold. And what brought you to Florida?
My parents retired and they had property here. My dad had property that he owned since he was 12 years old. And he worked for 30 years at General Motors in Michigan. And then he came and built him a home on the lake property that he inherited from his mother when his mother passed. He was 12 years old, and she left him the property, and he wanted to build a home on it. He came down, and I came down right after he did, and I've been loving it ever since.
And where do you live today?
I live in Elton Springs, right outside of Eatonville.
And you've lived here since you were about how old?
Oh boy, um, since I was about in my early 20s, I would say, about 24, somewhere in there.
And what was it like in your early 20s here in Central Florida?
It was absolutely a lot of fun. Um, the people were very friendly. That's why I fell in love with Florida. I came down for Christmas to visit my parents, and the people were just so friendly, and the weather was absolutely wonderful compared to Michigan, of course. So I just went home and packed my things and said I'm going to head back down here. But it was really nice. You know, the people are different from up north in the South, and I really could appreciate that. You know, everybody speaks to everybody, and they smile, and we laugh. They laugh, had a good time.
Did you attend any schools here in Florida?
I did attend Seminole Community College, which I think they call it now Seminole State College or something. But I did attend Seminole Community College when I came, and it was very nice and very interesting. I also worked there.
What is it that you do at the college?
When I was at the college, I was doing early childhood development because I was a single parent and I wanted to learn how to better raise, train, teach, and create toys and prepare meals for my own children. And then I became a director at a daycare center. And that was my passion back then when my kids were small. And when my kids were in school, I was at work and I could take them to work with me, so it kind of worked out for me. And I enjoyed it. I love kids.
And today we are at the Zora Festival Eatonville, Florida. Can you tell us about your connection to the festival at Eatonville?
Well, I have a lot of friends that live in Eatonville, and when I first came to Florida, Eatonville was one of the main places where all the young people would come, you know, the people in their 20s and things. If you're over 21, you could come here and just have a good time till 3 or 4 in the morning. And then I remember there was, I never forget, the first time I had the fish, mullet fish. I'd never heard of a mullet.
Because up north they don't.
I never heard of it. And then when I
Yeah.
came here and I saw them eating mullet at this little restaurant next to the Rainbow Club. And when you come out of the Rainbow, there was a guy in the restaurant selling mullet, and everybody was eating it. And I'm like, it's pretty good. And I'm like, what is it? Mullet. And I always remember that, you know, that mullet fish, and it was very good. It was very good. And we had a lot of good times here.
How did they prepare? Is it fried mullet?
They fried it, yes. They fried it. I think it was something like maybe $3 for a sandwich, so it was affordable for everybody. And they were pretty big and nice and fresh. And I have some friends that live here also. They've been living here a long time. There's actually a guy, we call him the mayor, but he's not the mayor. His name is Bob White. He's been living here so long. He's an older gentleman in his late 70s. And his son has a barber shop here. My dad comes all the way from Altamont, which is only about 15 minutes, to get his hair cut here in Eatonville because he likes to come to Eatonville.
And which barbershop?
Barbershop, I don't know the name of it. It's right here on Kennedy Boulevard. Yeah, my dad came down today to get a haircut, but they were going to charge him $5 a park, so he said forget it. He want to get a haircut today.
Tell us about some of the people in Eatonville that you know of, some of the people that you're friends with and who live here.
Okay, my main friends here are Bob and Helen White. And everybody in Edenville basically knows Bob and Helen White. They are an older couple. Unfortunately, right now, Mrs. White is under the weather, but she's still a very sweet person, and she was sort of like a second mother to me. And we always would come down and have a good time at her house. They have a beautiful home. It's right, they call it Catalina or something. It's right down the street here. It's a little subdivision that sets through the back. And I used to know a gentleman. He actually lives in Elmsby now, the Seeleys. I think his ex-wife, she still lives here, Frances. And there's other people that live here. I haven't seen them in a long, long time. But most of the people here have been here for a while. You know, most of the young people now are moving out to Orlando, but the older people are still here in Edenville because they love Edenville.
So, a couple of people have talked to us about the Rainbow Club. Is Rainbow
Oh,
Club
yeah.
a Rainbow Room?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit?
The Rainbow, it was just a place where you would come because it stayed open late. So if you went to another party or somewhere else, you could always come down here. And because I think they stayed open 4 or maybe 5 in the morning, somewhere in there. And they would have, what I used to love about them is they had the rooftop where you could go on the rooftop. And actually, my mom was 83 years old, but she said when she was younger, because she's originally from Florida, she said they would come down to the Rainbow. So the Rainbow was here like forever. Anybody that lives in the Central Florida area knows about the Rainbow.
So what has happened to the Rainbow? When did it close?
It go years ago. At least I know 15, 16 years ago. Closed down quite a while back. You know, but it was just the kind of place you can go in the daytime, you can go at night. It was always open, and everybody knew everybody. And then we'll say, let's meet you at the Rainbow. That was the meeting spot. And then sometimes you just sit out on the hood of your car in the parking lot. You know how young people do. Talk and date and all that good stuff, you know.
So I understand that some famous people have been at the Rainbow. Who have you seen at the Rainbow?
But when I started going to the Rainbow, they had ran all the famous people away, I guess. That was in my mother's time. They just had disc jockeys when I was there. You know, the disc jockeys were great too, but they didn't have any live entertainment. By the time I got here to Edenville, they didn't have live entertainment. It was just a disc jockey, but he was great.
And about when is that?
Let me see. My youngest son was born here, so I don't know. That must have been back in the late 70s, early 80s, somewhere in there.
I understand that you're working on a book. Can you tell us about your book?
Yes, absolutely. I am working on a inspirational handbook that you can put in your pocketbook or your suit pocket, coat pocket to carry around with you. And the book is a variety of scriptures and testimonials that I have been researching over the years. And since I have so much information, I decided that I will put it together and put it in a book form because I know there's a lot of people that don't have a chance to really study the scriptures and pick out really strong verses that can really carry you through hard times, you know, things that we really need to know to keep our head above water. So I want to put it together and get it all printed up, and then I'll be giving it especially to young women that I know that are struggling and going through changes in life, because the young people nowadays, they're having a real hard time, and they need an anchor in the time of a storm. I put it like that. They need to know, you know, what the Word of God says, and I am a Christian, and I do believe the Word of God, and I believe the Bible will give you strength in your time of weakness. And I think those scriptures that I have, they're very powerful scriptures, will give them some strength, and they can pull them out anywhere. They can put them in their pocket. They can read it at the doctor's office. They can read it on the bus. Just read it when they feel like it. It's nothing bulky, you know. It's nothing you have to be dragging around and rolling up. So I'm very excited about the book, and the more I do the research, the more excited I get, because I feel that I've really been blessed with a lot of knowledge, and that I want to share with other people.
When do you expect that it'll be finished?
I'm working on February, the 1st of February. I'm trying to add pictures to it now. So my mind is just really doing like 99 and a half on this right now. Because I just want to do the words at first, then the testimonies, then I'm like, wow, I think I did some pictures to go in there. So I'm going to stop at the pictures and just go ahead on and get it out. The first copy. And then, who knows?
Well, thank you very much. Are there any final stories you'd like to share about living in Florida?
Yeah, I would just like to say that being here in Eatonville has a lot of tremendous events. Zora Festival is one of them. They have the Martin Luther King parade and the festival similar to this. And the people get together and just have a good time. You know, when you come here, you can't help but to smile because you got the young and the old, and then everybody, all different races are here, and we're just having a good time. Enjoy music everywhere, incense burning, pretty jewelry, clothes, purses, you know, free stuff, and good food. And it's just good to come out and fellowship with people and just have a good time. And the weather is beautiful today, so it's just a blessing to be here and be in Eatonville. Eatonville is a very special place in the Central Florida area, not just here for the Eatonville people, but people all over. Daytona, Altamont, Orlando, Leesburg, Titusville, they all love Eatonville because this is a place where it's a family-oriented town and everybody is just friendly and warm, and we love this place, and we always come every year.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.